Well, good Sunday morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here. Let's wake up the football gods. Man, it is Sunday. Guys, take a look at this. Take a look right here. We are 60 days, 9 hours, 7 minutes away from kickoff of the 2022 season. It is getting close. Today's what, the 10th? The 10th. A little over 2 weeks from now, actually 15 days from now, the team's charter will land in Oxnard. 15 days from now. August 1st, our first padded practice. I know we talking about practice. Not a game. Not a game. We talking about practice, but you know what? I am excited and am happy as can be because, it's been rough. We haven't really had the controversy this offseason, to be in there. The Zeke Elliott watch. Is he going to show up for training camp or not? Then he was in Cabo, and then we got Zeke. We don't have that. We had the Dak Prescott, how's the ankle? Is he going to be able to be ready for the season? We had that last year. This year, we got nothing. The only thing we've got is, and the question will be is Micah Parsons overhyped? Everything has been about Micah Parsons this offseason. And has it been set up to the point where there's no way that he can live up to expectations? We looked at the workout tapes and stuff, and we say, is Micah Parsons the fastest linebacker in football? We saw a rating the other day that Micah Parsons the best offside linebacker out there. Micah Parsons, can he get the sack record, as a linebacker? It's just so much that I don't know how anybody could live up to it. I mean, the only way Micah Parsons could live up to the hype that's there is he would have to be Ray Lewis and Lawrence Taylor combined. Literally. Because we look at him as an edge rusher and we say, well, he could break the sack record. We look at him as a linebacker and say, oh my God, he's a game changer. He would literally have to be Ray Lewis and Lawrence Taylor combined to live up to the expectations. And don't get me wrong, I believe that he is going to be a great player. I really do. I believe his work ethics. I believe the way that he approaches the game. I believe his upbringing, that everything that has happened to him to this point and his desire and love for the sports and being the competitor that he is, that I believe that he will be that guy. I really do believe that. But we've seen guys that have been overhyped after their first year and disappointed. We looked at RG3 and said, oh my God, Washington thought that, they wouldn't be thinking about a quarterback, for the next 10 years after they drafted him. You know how long ago that was? 2012, 10 years ago. And I remember after that first year, they were saying the Washington football team, they're set at quarterback for the next 10 years. Well, how many other quarterbacks have come through since then? Chase Young. Now, the jury's still out on Chase Young, but you looked at the expectations of him, he was the next Lawrence Taylor that was coming through. And even before the knee injury, he was disappointing. He was truly disappointing. So I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just pointing out that no matter what he does, I mean, if he gets 13 sacks again, there are going to be people that are saying, oh, well, he didn't really take another step. The expectations are crazy. So we sit here, and this is another one of the loves here. NFL Live was talking about the top 5 interior linebackers in the NFL. Let's go to the tape.
telling him he's never getting that though. If 10's the number, I'm going for 20.
Pressure, hit, the Micah Parsons again. It's crazy what this kid is doing.
I'm going to definitely do this. I just want to be a winner. Like, I want to be something.
Born for greatness, man. Born for greatness, man.
Well, it has been quite an offseason for Cowboys linebacker Micah Parsons so far.
Dropping the puck.
Dropped the puck. More like a spike, really, but that's okay. At the Hershey Bears game. And he's like, forget the ice. Let's move our talents to the diamond. Throw the first pitch at the Rangers game. Check this out. Pretty good. Crosses the plate like that. Continued his tour of other sports. Decided let's hit the basketball court, break some ankles. Nice little crossover here for one Micah Parsons. And then we went back to football yesterday. He won a race between defensive players at Agent David Magetta's Pro Week in Austin. Won the race, so this is all good. So Sam, the defensive rookie of the year, is having himself quite a nice summer, I must say so myself, hitting all the sports.
He is. And Micah Parsons, he talked about himself being this leader, being this lion, a hunter, and that's what he is. And what I get excited about with him is, yes, like he's almost like a part-time pass rusher that gets full-time stats. So I love what I'm seeing from Micah Parsons.
I love it, and having some fun, too. Well, speaking of Parsons, we just happen to have someone here, that would be Sam, who knows a thing or two about the linebacker position. And so, Sam, right now on ESPN.com, our Jeremy Fowler compiled a list of executives, coaches, and players, and who they ranked as the top interior linebackers in the National Football League. And so here's the ranking. We've got Darius Leonard at the top, Micah Parsons at number 2, followed by Fred Warner, Devin White, and Roquan Smith. And so as I said, Sam, you're the expert here. Break down some things you like about this top 5.
What I love, number one, about Darius Leonard, I say number one because he is number one, is his ability to force fumbles. So that's exciting. But we're going to start with number 5. We're going to start with Roquan Smith, the Chicago Bear who I played with. Shay, you know him very well.
That's
this dude padded the stats in his 4th season as a Bear. He had 524 tackles in the last 4 seasons. He can rush the quarterback. He can run sideline to sideline. He's not the biggest, but he's a tackling machine. 14 sacks, 17 PBUs. And what I love about him is his awareness. He's a guy who will sniff out a screen or any type of shovel pass before anyone else knows about it. Number 4, because we're starting in reverse order. I'm going to go Devin White, another guy who I played with one of my last years in the NFL. This dude is sideline to sideline. Ran a 4.4 40. But what's most impressive is his ability to rush the quarterback. Yes, he is an off-the-ball linebacker, but what Todd Bowles loves to do in this defense is to bring off-the-ball linebackers on what we call cross-dog blitzes. So you're going to find him consistently in the backfield, consistently beating running backs and also beating offensive linemen. Number 3, we're going Fred Warner, one of the most complete linebackers in the NFL. So he's an every down linebacker, which is rare to find in the NFL. You see a lot of guys play on first down, on second down, get taken out on third. Fred Warner
Number 2.
Cover. Fred Warner can tackle. Fred Warner can lead his team, and he's one of the primary reasons why the San Francisco 49ers have been so consistently good all year long, even going back the year before. Number 2, the man we all love, Micah Parsons. I said part-time pass rush. You only rush the quarterback 52.9% of the time last year. And he had 13 sacks, defensive rookie of the year. He played 4 different positions, at least 115 snaps at 4 different spots, whether he was rushing the quarterback or dropping. What I love about Micah Parsons is his natural pass rush ability. You don't have to teach him anything. Just let him go. And number 1, I said him first. I'm going to say him last. The first shall be last. The last shall be first.
All right.
Darius Leonard, 8 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions. He is a turnover machine. And I misspoke. He's not a turnover machine. He's a takeaway machine because he takes the ball away.
Can't argue with that.
Single-handedly.
That's amazing. 12 takeaways.
With his long arms, with his football awareness, gets the ball out of the offense's hands. And so for me, that's why I respect this list. Each and every one of these linebackers has a different facet to their game that makes them great. They're all different. They're all unique. Some are bigger, some are smaller, some have longer arms, but they all affect the game in a tremendous way.
Yeah, no doubt. Darius Leonard has been either All-Pro or to the Pro Bowl in each of his 4 seasons.
Well, do you agree with that list? And can Micah Parsons live up to the hype that is Micah Parsons? That's some big shoes to fill right now. But if he can play just as good as he did last year, what you have to understand is you may actually see Micah Parsons have a better year with worse numbers. And you're going to be like, what do you mean? Because, see, what's going to happen is, it's the offseason. The other teams are paid to figure you out. They got 20 people that are doing and analyzing every single thing you do. And when you do something great, they're going to figure out a way to negate that. So they're going to look at Micah Parsons and see how he rushes. Is he an inside rusher? Is he a bull rusher? They're going to try and learn everything about his technique. They're going to devise ways of slowing him down. If he's on the outside, having a running back to chip him, to, maybe use the tight end, double team him, and so on. They'll find out, can you run at him, or do you better off running away from him? So they will devise the offense to counter what he does. And when they do that, when they say, we've got a running back that's got to be held in to help block him, or we've got to get the tight end to help chip him before he goes out, that means that guy is taking up 2 players. That means that guy is occupying. So now you have numbers on your side. That means that more than likely that everybody else across the defense, especially D-Law, and D-Law has been a guy that you've constantly had to have double team and triple team. Teams cannot double and triple both of those guys. If we get anything from John Ridgeway, along with Neville Gallimore and Osi Ndigizua and Carlos Watkins, or even Tristan Hill, those guys will feast because of what Micah Parsons does. He will make everybody else across the line better. So yes, it is conceivable that his numbers may not be as good because everything becomes the focal point of stopping Micah Parsons. If we're going to lose, let's not let Micah Parsons be the one. Let's roll the dice and say, we'll say Neville Gallimore. We'd rather go ahead and say that Neville Gallimore isn't going to beat us like Micah Parsons will. And so that's where we'll look and see how this thing evolves and changes. I think the best thing that Dan Quinn can do is, because Micah Parsons can be a middle linebacker, because he can cover, because he can pass rush, because he can be an edge rusher, you make him the wild card that the offense just doesn't know where he's coming from. And that, my friends, is the key to winning in football. Everybody's got great players. Everybody has guys that can beat you. The thing that you have to do in football, and the Cowboys have not been good at, is going where teams don't expect you to go. Making teams respect the whole field. And that's, my friends, is how you win. Because then you can get numbers against teams, or you can hit teams' weaknesses. I'm hoping that the Cowboys, and my biggest worry is, can Kellen Moore really call this offense to the best of its ability? Dallas Cowboys over the last 2 seasons have gotten tons of yards. I think yardage-wise, over 6,900 yards. I think it's top 6 last year and the year before in yardage. It's great. But you got to win the games. So with that being said, I'm going to get ready to roll out of here. Got things to do. Got to get materials for down in the country and go to Florida Core. And, of course, at 5 o'clock today, we'll have our call-in live stream. Channel members, I will post the link for the Zoom line in the community tab, so that way you guys can join in the conversation. I have grown really, really fond of having these conversations on Sundays. Primetime Phil and Brian Green and, Troy Daniels and, Thomas Garrett and everything else. Of course, Roland's Review. I mean, Vado. There's so many that are here on a regular. My man, Rock. Forgive me if I don't get everybody's name and stuff, but it's a lot of fun. It started out as a vent session as soon as the season was over, and it's kind of evolved into kind of hope. We're still hoping, Brian Green, that the Cowboys will go get Anthony Barr, although Randy Sykes believes they ain't doing shit. which is probably right for the Cowboys. They probably just won't do shit. Okay, with that being said, you know how we roll.
Our coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Sports Report.